Word. All right, you know what it is, everybody. Welcome to the Big Truss Hour. Leave your feelings at the door. It might get a little rowdy in here. We're not gonna pull back no punches on your donkey trades. CCL. All right, my boy Pierre. Shout out to Pierre. Me and him are gonna be in southern France, in Cannes for the holiday. Check us out. Might have to get a chateau, Airbnb or something. All right, so Carnival Cruise, huh? You went long this? Well, I guess. All right. Well, I guess tell me your thesis, man. I don't think I could really give much analysis without a thesis here. So I guess that's how we'll do it, guys. If you guys want me to look at something and offer my analysis, post a ticker, tell me what your thesis was, and I can try and offer some analysis, and we'll go from there. All right. Omicron threat blow out of proportion. Long calls for after the freak out settles down. All right. Well, I'll say this right away. Where are your technical reasons for getting in? Okay, could Omicron be blown out of proportion? Maybe. Yo, Pierre, you still there? What am I supposed to do with it? That's the reason why you got long is because because it could have been blown out of proportion. Well, I'm asking where are your technical reasons, man? You can't just be going long off of because you think Omicron is blown out of proportion. Okay, I mean, could that be part of a thesis? All right, yeah, potentially, but we're gonna need more technical reasons here. Because this is just a dumpster fire trade. You like lighting money on fire, huh? People are gonna be scared to post their tickers now. Good, as you should. If you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen, man. If you can't take my little jabs and my little punches, you ain't gonna make it trading. So just quit the room right now. You ain't. And listen, everything I say, there's a touch of humor in everything I say. So don't get your panties in a bunch. All right. All right. So you've been watching the December range, going from 16 to 18. You tried getting in at the low. It did not work. Okay. All right. Now at least we have some. We got a bit more of some technicals. Okay. Thanks, Pierre. It's good to know you're not just like trading off of hunches. That's good. So where was your entry exactly? All right, cool. I'll take a look at that one next, Rex. That should be a good one to look at. Okay, so you were trying to get in the low, but the low was in the 16. So where was your entry? Not definitely not 16 because I hear what you're saying at low 17. Yeah, because I could buy you getting in like 16.45. I'm looking at the daily chart. Yeah. Hey, well, it happens to the best of us. Sometimes we all rush it. From what I've been seeing, you've been killing it lately. So keep up the good work. I know you've been doing real well. Shout out to Pierre. Keep putting in that good work. All right, let's take a look at this crap Chinese company, as Rex calls it. Dubious news, up 20%, shorted in the first dip and got stopped out. Okay. All right, let's check it out, Rex. Nice trade pickle on plug. All right, so you said you shorted at the first dip. Okay, well, let's see this dubious news first, because if this is yeah, this was the one you mentioned earlier. Composite rating of 38, which is just atrocious. Oh, yeah, okay, this was the one that they're getting like 10,000 order of cars. All right. Okay, so you shorted on the first dip and got stopped out. So what? Probably around like 156-ish. Yeah, I guess what we could I guess what I would say. Yeah, 154. Which I don't mind taking a shot on it. I think it was um a fine one to take a shot. Now the only thing I will say is and you'll see it on my charts, right? The level held very well. And that would be the one thing to, if I was going into it, and hopefully I'm not saying this just with hindsight, right? But I think it's pretty clear. Like you see this level 152 that we're getting from the AI, and it also lines up pretty well with like the stopping point it was coming up to pre-market. It might have been better, Rex, to wait for confirmation. This is one of those things. And now I don't blame you for trying to take a shot on it, but with these low float China ones, like look, it can this green candle can really go against you and go against you quickly. So it might be prudent going forward to wait for confirmation. And that's something I've been trying to incorporate into my trading a little bit. Especially with some of these that we short, because you can get burnt pretty good. And so it's sometimes, you maybe not making all of the move, but waiting for confirmation, playing it a bit safer. Because I think it's not surprising that it stopped here. It happens, Rex, and that's just part of the mental part, right? Of trading is not letting that affect you. It's we're not going to catch everything. Sometimes things are going to shake us out. Sometimes we're going to miss the move by being too patient. And that's when the experience and the screen time come into play, in my opinion. But it was definitely not a donkey trade. I would not consider that a donkey trade. It's just, okay, we learn from it. And perhaps we wait for some confirmation next time. All right, what else we got? Anything else? I guess kind of a donkey move by me, I'll say today, and you guys who were trading with me this morning know it. While I'm having a good day, I did not allow myself to catch all this move of plug. I very often strictly play the 9 for my stops on a trade. Now, if you look, Pickle, now shout out to Pickle. Pickle played it well. He stayed in this short the whole time, all the way up until it's started breaching the 9. I exited around 30. Now I had a couple of like ins and outs of this, but ultimately I got out, I think around the 30-ish range, give or take. But I did let my emotions in the thread of like having some profit come off the table, had me break my rules essentially. And so even though it's a good day, you could still have a good day and not trade your best, which I think was the case today for me. So even on good days, there's always improvements to be made, optimization to be had. Biden economic bill gets pushed to 2022. Let's take a look at Frey, because I know there's some. I know Chuck traded that. I know Omar. Omar told me he had a good short on it. Yeah, and this was one of those where the 20 really smacked it down. This is one where you really kind of could have played the 20. And a lot of times what I'll do is I will play the 20 as a stopping point if it's the 20 and the 9 start getting close to each other. I think you avoid some shakeouts that way. All in all, a good trade. Anything else we're looking at? Or is this just going to turn into you know, just chop it up hour, just BS hour? All right, X trigger got one. TGLS. Okay, let's see. Mom messaged me on Friday suggestion. I said buy this. Okay, that's never a good sign. I'll say that right away. I haven't even read the rest. But your mom messaging you and suggesting to buy something. I don't know. All right, let's keep going. She doesn't know anything about the markets, doesn't trade, and I have no clue where she got this info from. Oh, this is great. This is awesome start to this. Okay, let's keep it going. It dumped on a short report, and I kept waiting for volume to come in to buy it. All week, I've set in targets on pullbacks and never got filled. Canceled the order, then have a good pullback. Now that I've missed a $6 move so far, and I'm still wanting to get in for a gap fill. And now I got to hear it from my mom, who knows how long. First pullback into the 18s, but holding it would have been a great entry. Oh, first off, that's hilarious. Shout out to your mom. Great trade by your mom. Maybe we need some more stock tips from moms. So I guess I'll just stay with this. I mean, first off, don't feel bad. If this is something you're feeling bad about, like don't. Because like this is just not a process oriented trade. Right? I mean, how are you going to take information from someone who's never traded, knows nothing about the markets? And so far looking at this thing is just it's thin. There's no volume on this. So I mean, yeah, I mean maybe if you're doing like a buy and a hold, but you're gonna have to have a better thesis than my mom told me to bought it. Yeah, but you gotta separate out. And so for people who are either watching this back, um, he says yeah exactly, but it hurts. She was right. Not that I missed it. Oh, it hurt. Now you got to hear it from her. Oh God, this is just the way things go, man. It's just the way things go, man. Oh my God, you know how many people who I know in real life, these people, and they know I trade, and they know I'm in like crypto too. And then yeah, exactly, Rex. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. Exactly, adequate phrase. But you know how many people I know in real life who were like that just make fun of me because I didn't catch money on Dogecoin, and they're like, I'm like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like they don't know nothing. They just bought Dogecoin and Dogecoin went up, whatever it went up. And they're God's greatest gift to trading now. It's like, okay, all right, whatever. And then not knocking anyone who got Dogecoin, because if anything, man, like great job. You know what I mean? And that's why I say to them, great job. But like not they try and tell me about markets. And I think like even that, like, because that can mess up, you know, it's a good point you bring up X trigger, because like it can mess you up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Because I've been there before where it's like I start questioning myself. I'm like, huh, like how did I miss that? You know, and like you gotta always remind yourself, and like this is what I do. At least it helps me. You have to remind yourself like this is a long run game. Like Rex said, even a blind squirrel can find a nut once in a while, and you gotta you gotta think like okay, one, it's not a repeatable process. You just gotta remind yourself like this is a long run thing. Like you gotta prove yourself day in and day out, year in and year out, and yeah, I mean that's what I tell myself, and you know, just I'm more on pride of myself on like, you know, I'm like trading's Derek Jeter. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like a base hitter. You know what I mean? And like I do shoot for like biggish trades, but you know, these like super duper like huge moves. You know, I go more for like consistency hitter. You know what I mean? I'm more of a grinder. Yeah, I think you should be happy, X Trigger. If anything, like that was a good no trade. Says the psychology is hard for all of us. It really is. So I mean, yeah, X trigger, like good discussion. Good thing you brought up. I mean, if anything, you should be patting yourself on the back for the no trade because in the long run of trading, this trade is going to be so insignificant. And I know it's hard to view things that way. Um, we're in a game where there's so much randomness that it's so easily to be fooled. You can have bad traders go on hot streaks for months. We'll see if they're still here in a year. We'll still see if they're here in 2 years. Gated community with a pool for 75K. Shout out to Phoenix. I've never been to Phoenix, Arizona. So what else we got? Do we got any other charts to look at? Do we have any other topics of conversation? Yeah, I know. Like and these guys too busted my balls for Shiba coin. I'm like, yo, just get the. Oh, good one, Rex. Sorry, Rex. I missed it. He said psychology is a shrinking career. Good one, Rex. Sorry, that one went over my head. That was actually too sophisticated of a joke for me. Shout out to Rex the ever witty Rex. Borders on old man joke. It was a good one, Rex. No, no, no. I thought it was a good one. I'm not. It's not an old man joke. Well done. My man Omar is looking at rooftop patios in Chicago downtown. So how about this big trust tour 2022? Man, I'm pumped for that, man. But yeah, it's weird. You know what I'm starting to see too. Like I'm starting to feel like I'm playing poker again. Well, no, well, not really, but like I used to dread in conversation, like when people ask me what I did. It's just like because people just don't understand. It's just awkward conversations. People think I'm a degenerate, and it's like now when people ask me what I do, right? Like because everyone thinks they're a trader now. Everyone has an opinion on trading. It's like I'm just like one of these other cornballs when they ask me what I do. It's like I just like really try and steer conversations, just not in that territory. Okay, all right. Rex has a question. He says, "Can you discuss your short scans, not from a details point of view, but from a high level view of your thinking?" Okay, I think I get what you're asking. I guess the main idea, the main strategies I'm trying to go for. Um, well, with one of them, I guess this one, the Algo's blessing scan, which there's no good alerts on it today, so I wouldn't even really pay attention to these ones. Except for snacks, this one looked good, which actually I guess I kind of missed, but I was busy in other trades. Um, I guess the main thing I would say, like if you guys look at the daily charts, most of the times on the daily charts, and I programmed it this way. I was looking for stocks that were downtrending throughout the year, right? So let's look at the other alerts, see if that's true for them. Yep, downtrend. This one's kind of consolidating, but in its yearly range, it's not towards the top. Um, so essentially, I was looking for stocks that are in a downtrend, but are now catching some buying, catching a bid, maybe gapping up. Um, and look, oftentimes I'm looking for them being moved up, propped up off of maybe a Fugazi catalyst, maybe now coming back up to a moving average. If you guys notice, I talk a lot about like the moving averages on the daily chart and like using the daily chart for like entry exits. And so, and because why I look at the daily chart too heavily is because though, I mean, that's where the position traders, size traders are placing their bets off of the daily chart, right? Because they're not in and out kind of like we are. They're more like longer term traders. And so I'm looking for like these moving averages as points of interest, areas of interest, to where we could garner some information direction. And so a lot of times I'm looking for these to like gap up to like a moving averages. And I mean, if you look at like PBTS, look, I mean, had this pump pre-market, where to go? Right up to the 50 SMA, rejected all the way back down. And so I guess from like, yeah, I mean, that's why I'm always, I don't know if you guys noticed, and I tried to highlight that in the video I did, that the daily chart is king. And so, yeah, so I'm really looking, I mean, that's why I love making the trades like close to like the 200, the 50. Ideally the bigger the moving average, the better. Yeah, and just looking at them from there. And so that's what I'm really trying to capture. Now this scan catching more of legitimate companies, I would say, where like the Joe Pesci ones are kind of like, I've opened it up more to like the low floats and the like the real just scammy Chinese companies, which are going to be more volatile, but can also, if you play them correctly, you catch bigger moves. Yeah, it's bumping up against the 20. Yeah. So I think so. And I mean, and what's good about that too is not that I initiate any long trades, but you could play your long trades the same exact way. I know, a lot of this I did learn from Steve, Brian Shannon, JC Parrots. They're all big on these type of concepts, like the daily chart. I know Brian Shannon at least is with the moving averages. I'm not sure about JC. And I know Steve is. I just use it for shorting. So that's that. And yeah, I mean, and then you already know how I play with the intraday moving averages and VWAP. And so hopefully that answered the question, Rex. I'm essentially looking for beaten down stocks that are just catching a bid, and then you're catching a bid with the intention of getting sold again, because they're continuing to want to ease out of the position. They just want to get a better price to ease out of. So if I had to say like the essence of the scans, that's probably it. At least that's what I was trying to go for. And so I guess in the case of the one I took today, what did I trade today? Me and Plug, right? Plug. Yeah, I mean, and Plug, I mean, it's not necessarily getting beat down recently. I mean, since October, it's had a nice uptrend, kind of chopping around year on the, this year, some dips, some pumps. And then today, like, look exactly what happened today. I thought this is a good example. Gapped right up to the 10 SMA, rejected. Now, the only thing I was a bit worried about was the 200, which was, the price was kind of jammed between the 10 and the 200. But I thought, if anything, what I could do is I could short it from the 10 down to the 200, and then if it gets contentious there, I could just exit. And it didn't. It just blew by it. It came back up to test it, and then that's when I did another reentry. Went back down right to this area. I mean, look, right down to the area the AI is giving us right here, 2865. So that's kind of how I based my decision making there. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing too, right? Like, I mean, that's why I never discount it. Well, not discount it, but the moving averages aren't the end all say all, right? End all be all. It blew past the 200, which is considered the strongest, I think, by most to be the strongest moving average on the daily chart. Just blew by it, came up to test it, reject, down. So I think that can give you, good entries, good indication to where the stock's going to go. But just like we were talking about with the catalyst, right? The catalyst not being end all be all. A positive catalyst can still have a negative price action, or negative trend, and vice versa. And so you got to, I guess that's the tricky part of trading is wrapping all these things, getting all these different data points and making a timely decision. And just knowing that, I don't think you want to make a trading decision just off of one point. I think that's the main thing. You want to try and get all these positive factors in your favor and then execute. All right, what else we got? Handful of sticks idea is that when like price breaches through like the moving averages, like when they're all like bunched up together.
Oh, he talked about twigs, I guess, but a bunch of the moving averages all lining up together. The more of them you get close together, the stronger the support or resistance is in that area.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's like anything else when you have a bunch of converging indicators. I would tend to agree there. What's up? I guess people only have tickers for Paws to look at, huh? You chumps, a bunch of scaredy cats, huh? I know it's only the guys who trade with me in the morning. They feel comfortable enough to share tickers with me. I appreciate you guys. I guess as the rest are a little bit nervous. Paul's probably has a little more gentle touch than I do. That's all right. You guys stay over in the futures room. That's cool. Like this the real trading room here. This real deal trading, man. Sorry, I got snacked. What's up, Gus? Yeah. Yeah, only short GPT. PRPL. Looks like it's getting a little tired now, huh? What a nice trend all day. Actually, it looks like it's like that a good projectile short lining up there. Yeah, well, no, those actually are my thoughts, Bugs. It might be getting tired if it doesn't bounce off the 20. So here the scenario. I have longed, guys, before. I have long. I used to long. I think it's still within my capabilities to long. I'm just a much better short trader, and so that's what I focus on. So it's not like I'm like just it's out of my realms. You know what I mean? But so these are scenarios I've seen play out before. Bugs. We have the nice trend up the 9, right? Like an all day type trend up the 9. Now we're getting like consolidation from the highs. I mean, when was this? 1235. Right. There's either two ways it's going to go. It's going to hold this 20. It's going to continue to trend up. That's going to be beautiful. you're gonna for your long, you're gonna see it now. It's getting tired. There's no more buyers. It's gonna dip below this 200. It's gonna come down to VWAP, which we've dubbed the projectile short. Or it's gonna do a fake out. It's gonna go down to the 200 or the 20. It's gonna look like it's gonna do a projectile, but it's gonna fake out, come back up, possibly trend. And so those are the type of scenarios I'd look out for in this situation. Someone said before, not everyone shorts, but everyone longs. But not all stocks go up, but all go down at some point. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. PFE is a stonk. Shout out to Rag Daddy. Hand me the rag, Daddy. This man. But yeah, shorting's great, man. I get enough long exposure in crypto. That's where I go long. Yeah, I much prefer shorting. Now, like if it's just different. It just depends on how you want to go about it. I like. I think just shorting. I think it plays into like my. I would say I'm definitely like I'm a contrarian. I think probably at heart. As you guys know, I come from like the gambling world, and you to be successful in those things, you don't really want to be thinking like how the crowd thinks. I mean, you could probably just say that for life. You don't want to like just think how the crowd thinks. And looking around like retail trading, like everyone like goes long, like these people going like long, these like I don't know, these stonks, as they put it. I just find it a hard time thinking like that's a good idea. Like jumping into stocks with the rest of these donkeys. Now, do these things make big, huge moves? They do. Am I maybe missing out on an opportunity? Potentially. That just goes against my being. And a lot of people don't like shorting. So I think naturally there's an edge there. I like to operate an edge where there's like people aren't at, or an edge is what people don't like to do. So that's, I guess if we're talking like big picture, probably why I'm more gravitated to shorting. That's probably part of it. They've been the short, Dan. It's too late now. The move's already over, Dan. The real short was preseason on Jacksonville. Oh, he's kicking players in practice. You seen that? Just a dumpster fire. Urban Myers. He thinks it's the 80s. Sorry, we're bringing the 80s back. So yeah, it should be an interesting game tonight. Chiefs and the Chargers. Finally, we get a good like primetime game. Well, the Monday night game was good. So I made a bunch of my DFS lineups for tonight. It's crazy. I don't get no tickers from anybody. I see you guys. I see you guys when Tom's on here. Yeah, what? Shut up, Regan. Buy some more Matic, Regan. Regan's not even on Zoom, is he? Regan, go buy some more Matic, Regan. Oh yeah, he does. You're right, GP. Yeah, GPT. You're right. You're right. He does do that. He goes through his list. Yeah, I don't have a list. You're right. You're right. Yeah, we just trade. We just trade. Hey, spoon feet. Yeah, yeah. I'm more. Yeah. I haven't been. I do swing. I have swing traded. I'm not. Yeah. I'm just not swinging now. Potentially get back in Roblox. I just a day trade, shorting. And honestly, I'd rather put my funds to use in crypto, to be honest, like swings. So that's if I had to say, like that's probably why I don't swing trade because I'm putting all that. I'd rather put all that into crypto, where I think like the growth is just the ceiling is just way higher, in my opinion. Now, if I wasn't allocating my money to crypto, I would probably say Roblox. Though now it's dipping below the 50-day. But it came down to the gap, so it actually might not be a bad entry-ish here. Like I said, I have swung. I've been holding Roblox in the past. I have swung trade DraftKings in the past. And I probably have a huge bias to it because I play DraftKings weekly. All right, net. All right, let's check it out. Sure would have been a great short. Yeah, look, failed to couldn't even touch the 10 SMA. Right back down to the bottom of this range. And then you got to bounce. The more until 12 p.m. Eastern, then that's when JJ comes over. So I got the morning hours. The most fun hours. So I appreciate everyone over here. We don't make excuses over here. And I think that's a good point. I really try and be very like ruthless with myself with that. Every decision you make, it's your fault, right? It's not the stock's fault. Um, because I think even knowing we're in a game where like randomness is a big part, it's easy to use that as a crutch to justify decision making. And I think I used to do that in the past. I know I actually have in all forms of gaming, from poker to sports betting to DFS to trading. It's very easy to chalk things up to randomness, to chalk things up to variance, as opposed to being ruthless with yourself and not making excuses and seeing what you could have done better. Now, of course, there's going to be some things where it was randomness. You made a good decision, but the key is knowing the difference. And that's why we're advocates of process, process, process. I guess for what am I looking at? I'm looking at nothing. I don't think I'm going to be making any trades. Rarely do I actually make any trades in the afternoon. Okay, I got a question. Ray, have you ever dealt with feeling like you don't deserve a win or the money you've made? Um, Listen to Mark Douglas yesterday. He talked about that being a factor, sometime giving back what you've made subconsciously or consciously. Yeah, I mean, I think that's an interesting point, Trigger. I don't know if I've felt like that, but I think I've felt similar, that yeah, like kind of what's that I know it's a they have a term for it psychologically, like I feel like I'm not as good as I am, or I feel like a fraud, right? That like I think like for me speaking, to me specifically, when I've had like downturns, or maybe I've had like a couple losing days or a losing day, um, I'd more start questioning myself to where like, okay, was I just lucky previously? Yeah, kind of like doubting my abilities, which I think could for sure lead to giving money back. Cause like thinking like, yeah, like I don't deserve it. So I think, yeah, I think that's a good point in where it's just, man, you gotta, so you just gotta just focus. Like what I do is I really just try and focus on the process, man, and not try and think about that. I just try and make one good decision after another, and just really, really block all that out. Like honestly, sometimes when we do our own research or lack of research, we can miss things and perspective. Good to know another opinion, especially when there is reasons behind it. I feel like I'm giving back money to some of the people in this room. You can't unsteal fear from the markets. Yeah, well, welcome to the room. Oh, you're saying you like my honesty? Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. Welcome to the room, man. Always feel free to comment, put your thoughts. There you go. It's ATM machine. Just know the codes. Cool, man. Cool, man. Yeah, don't just take it one step at a time. I know like a lot of people come in and they feel like overwhelmed because there's a lot of different like rooms. Just take it one thing at a time, and that things take time to learn, and that this is a tough game. So don't expect to learn everything at first. I'm not sure of your experience. You could be very experienced, but yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting point you brought up, Trigger. Um, I experienced that losing. Well, that's good. Now you'll know how to win. You got to lose. You got to lose to win, man. I firmly believe in that. I really do. I really do, man. I really do enjoy talking about these things more so than like the technical analysis or the actual trades themselves. Because I think if you can wrap your head around these things, then like you can easily wrap your head around technical analysis or like risk management. I really feel like those things are not that hard conceptually, right? Like I know we got like a lot of smart people in here who have come from like other careers and who have been successful at their other careers, whether it's doctors, whether it's engineers. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the things you guys had to learn to get into those professions were probably harder than learning technical analysis. The hard part is what's between the ears, I think. And so I really enjoy talking about these things more because I think this really gets to like the nitty gritty of it. Yeah, there you go, Dan. Absolutely. What's up, Dan? Hope you doing well, man. Yeah, getting through all the noise. Yep, exactly. Yep, execution, holding those protective rules. Yep, exactly, Pierre. Yeah, the execution is big. Yeah, for sure. And it's everyone talking about the execution part. 100%. I 100% agree. And that's what I think I've been trying to talk to today is that there's so many different moving parts and so much different inputs coming in, and like how do we execute with all that information that's coming in, all that stimuli, and yeah, I think having a good mindset is like, you know, not letting your emotions overrun you, being able to step back and execute and not have analysis by paralysis. And a lot of that is screen time, is practice, is getting in there, mixing it up. And then I think a lot of that also comes from away from the charts and working on our mental game and whichever preferred method that is for an individual. Good stuff. Well, I guess we got about 10 more minutes. Appreciate everyone's like topics. We got 10 more minutes. So if anything else you guys want to talk about or bring up, any feedback. Omar, are you playing Showdown tonight? I'll send you over the lineups if you are. I already got a bunch. I feel pretty good about mine. So guys, I'm referring to daily fantasy sports. I really do. And I guess while I'm talking about that, I do. I think like playing all like the different like playing poker, sports betting, playing daily fantasy sports. It helps with my trading. I think you can learn from all these things, and they're actually more similar than not. So, and I know for a lot of people, it's not possible to do all these things. People have lives. People have other jobs. But I think you can learn from these other activities. No, but Trigger, I'm learning. I'm in the process of learning options and I'm excited to get started. Very excited to get started. I feel like maybe this might have been uh maybe what I'm suited towards, Trigger, is options. And maybe that's just something I should have started with. But it's all good. Everything works how it's supposed to. So I have a really good mentor. Shout out to British Steve. Yeah, yeah, well said, Chuck. Yep. Success in most areas in life follow the same formula. Yep, I 100% agree that. Oh, stay safe. Stay safe there, Rex. Do I have an approach I'm looking to take? I think I don't know if I'm going to be day trading, Trigger, to be honest. I think I will look maybe for, for like a few days, maybe a week or so, give or take. And I think might be a little more sophisticated strategies, just because the guy I'm learning from, I would consider sophisticated. Um, and man, I'm still such a newbie, Trigger. I can't really say more than that, to be honest. I wouldn't even feel comfortable saying. I'm still just wrapping my head around it. I think I'm understanding the basics. But be on the lookout for that, man. I will definitely be mixing it up in the option streets. And I feel real comfortable for who I'm learning from. This guy knows what he's talking about. Yeah, you try to do everything at once. Yeah. I think like, someone I really respect, she's in this room. She's really good at trading multiple markets and options. Amy, think I can't keep up with her names. She changes them in the room. Oh, Fibonacci Mafia Queen. She has the blue name, the contributor. She's really good at trading futures, trading stocks, trading options, trading crypto, but she's built herself up to that point, right? She's has years of experience, and so I think those things are possible. Those things are possible, but you got to start somewhere first, and you want to get good at that, and then you slowly add on to it. And it's easier said than done. You got to you're gonna have to just take your losses, man. I mean, there's no ways around it. You're gonna get your ass handed to you. It's just what do you do when you get your ass handed to you? Are you gonna sit there and whine and cry and be like, "Oh my god, trading so hard. I'm not a trader." Or are you gonna like, buckle up and be like, "All right, I still need to there's more things I need to learn. I'm just not there yet. I got to keep grinding." And I prefer that mindset because it's the mindset that's going to have you succeed. That if one person can do this, make a living doing this, you can do it too. You just haven't figured it out yet. Yep, McNally's on board with it. Yep. You got to take personal responsibility for your trading. Yeah, we can help all you guys stay accountable. We really can. And that's why we're a community. But you got to hold yourself accountable. All right, we got 3 minutes. Nice, lovely afternoon here. Yeah, I saw McNally. I saw you posted in the sports betting room. Waddle out. Sucks. Jalen Waddle's been having a great year. He was on a bunch of my best ball teams that have advanced to the playoffs. That sucks. I was hoping to make a deep run in these best ball leagues, which I still will. No, I mean, to be honest, he's not even one of my best receivers on my team. Um, so I mean, he has had some spike weeks, and he's playing the Jets this week. So I was really hoping on that. But it's all right. I got a bunch of San Fran players. I got some Justin Jefferson, got some Cooper Cup, you know. So we'll see. And when they lose 1 or 2 trades, they go looking for the next. Sort of like Ray with his girlfriends. I don't know why my girlfriends have been a topic of the discussion today. I see my wife and I recently made a massive life change with trading being a big part of it. And we've taken an opportunity to see a lot of family we haven't seen in a while with some free time. And as trading comes up, it's unbelievable how much people want you to fail. It's interesting, right? Not even convinced it's a conscious thing. Just most people can't see something different for themselves. Yeah, I agree. Being trader is always associated with the Lambo life, but for most people, freedom is what's most important. People I've encountered have had a hard time understanding that. Yep. As soon as we stop being around those people, I feel a drastic difference. Who you surround yourself with has been such a massive thing for me. Really minor thing, make a huge difference. 100%. I couldn't agree anymore. I couldn't agree anymore, X Trigger. And people just don't understand, man. They they just don't, man. And it's like, especially like when I was playing poker, um, I 100% felt that way. And it's why I was mentioning even before, I would used to hate just bringing, when people would ask me what I do for a living, I just would just dread those conversations. And it's where it's like, man, like I was doing good. I was like making a living for myself. But, people think like, oh, if you're a gambler, should be living this like crazy extravagant lifestyle, when I was just like grinding, making a living. You know what I mean? Like I was doing good. I mean, I was, but it was nothing crazy. Um, and it was just, yeah, it's who you surround yourself is very important. You got to have supportive people around you, and it's a good thing you got your wife, man. You know what I mean? You got her. You know what I mean? You got people in your corner. It's awesome. All right, McDonald says, Ray, where did you learn all the ins and outs of DFS? There's shout out to the guys that established the run. That's their like they have a bunch of podcasts. They have a service where you get projections, articles, etc. Those guys crush it, man, in DFS, and actually a bunch of them are former poker players. That's how I kind of even got on. Found out, found out about them was when I was in my poker days, and they made a successful transition from poker to DFS, and they really provide an unbelievable service, and really just learning from them and like their thought process, and then a lot of it just coming from poker and trading, and it's like it's really the same thing. You just got to know how to see the similarities. Cool, X man. Definitely stay around, X. Definitely been providing some good topics for conversation, man. You definitely fit in with us over on this side. Yeah, well, McNally, man, definitely ask any questions. Yeah, I mean, this has been by far, man. I haven't really done well in DFS. I've been more or less like a donkey, since I've been playing DFS. But like, this is my first year. I'm like doing well. So just something just like clicked this year. I feel like, and it goes to that point where it's like sometimes things just take a while before everything like just seeps in and makes sense. Um, and I know Omar's read it. He really loved the book. I love it. One of my favorite books. It's called The Art of Learning. I really suggest everyone read it. It's this guy is just phenomenal performer, and if not, like a lot of people say, he's like the top performance coach in the world. Like you can't even find him, you can't even afford him. He like lives somewhere in the Amazon rainforest, and you better have a shit ton of money to afford him. But you can read his book, The Art of Learning. Josh Wayskin. I would just keep on the path, man. And the path never stops. I'm still on it. I'm not there neither. I'm not where I want to be. I probably never will. And that's the whole thing. We never get there. Gotta have the will. Yeah, you gotta have that will. That's for sure, Chuck. If you want it bad enough, I know it's like a corny thing, and I actually used to kind of hate that saying. It's like, who wants it more? I remember when we played football. That's what it would be like. He just wanted it more than you did. If we're watching film, like talking about a play. But it's kind of true. It kind of is the truth. Like if you want something bad enough, you'll figure out how to get it. If you want to be a trader that bad, you'll learn to take the losses and all the bumps and bruises that come around from it. Yeah, yeah. I don't think one's better than the other. You need both. Yeah. Atomic Habits. I actually just got that book. I haven't read it, but I have it. A lot of people have recommended. I'm sure it's great. About to get on it. Yep, that and the Art of Learning. Yep. Hi guys. Well, I guess we went 5 minutes over. It's been a great discussion. Happy to keep it going if we have any other topics, to be honest. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you. Big trust, baby. Nah, I really enjoyed it, guys. Thanks for the great discussion. Really really appreciate it. I thought that was awesome. I always learn from these myself as well. I mean, this is how we all build and grow together. And that's why we're a community. Appreciate everyone's honesty. All right. All right. Thanks everyone. I'll see you guys in the chat. Peace.